Hi, welcome to What's Happening. Here are the top 5 stories. At number 1, the Federal High Court in Abuja has sentenced 2 senior commanders of the Ansaru terrorist group, an Al-Qaeda-affiliated extremist organization, to life imprisonment after they pleaded guilty to multiple terrorism-related offenses. Justice Emeka Nwete handed down the sentence after convicting Abubakar Abba, popularly known as Abu Bara, and Mahmoud Usman, also known as Mahmouda, on a 32-count charge filed by the Department of State Services on behalf of the federal government. The charges included terrorism financing, kidnapping for ransom, illegal mining, fabrication of improvised explosive devices, and other offenses linked to terrorist operations. At number 2, President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of 26 officials into the board and leadership of 10 federal government agencies and commissions, with former Ekiti State Governor Fayose named chairman of the Rural Electrification Agency. The appointment, announced in a statement on Monday by the President's Special Advisor on Information and Strategy, Bayo Onanuga, also include Major General Junaid Bindawa as chairman of the National Salary and Wages Commission. Fayose will head the REA board alongside Amadu Abubakar and Eliasu Makinta, who were appointed as members and non-executive directors. The board also comprises the agency's Director General Abba Aliyu and 3 previously appointed executive directors. At number 3, the federal government has dismissed claims that the President Bola Tinubu administration has borrowed about 80 trillion naira in 3 years, describing the figures as exaggerated and based on accounting adjustments rather than fresh loans. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Taiwo Oyedele, made the clarification while briefing the Senate Committee on Finance today on the state of the nation's economy, responding to concerns raised by lawmakers over reports that the current administration had borrowed about 80 trillion naira in addition to the 75 trillion naira debt it inherited. The minister told the committee that the figures being circulated by commentators and reported in some sections of the media did not reflect the actual level of new borrowing. At number 4, new UK Prime Minister Andy Burnham took power Monday, purging the cabinet of his predecessor's loyalists as he promised a 10-year plan to ease cost of living pressures and signaled a tilt to the left. He immediately got to work after replacing Keir Starmer in Downing Street, holding separate calls with US President Donald Trump and Ukrainian leader Volodymyr Zelensky before appointing his ministerial team. Burnham, 56, pledged to re-industrialize Britain and decentralize power as well as end sleeping rough on the street after he met King Charles III at Buckingham Palace to become the head of government following Starmer's departure. At number 5, new World Cup champions Spain enjoyed a vibrant celebration parade on an open-top bus through the streets of Madrid on Monday evening, with a jubilant crowd of an estimated 2 million people out to celebrate, according to local authorities. The players, some shirtless, others holding drinks, set off on their procession under a blazing sun along the main arteries in the city center, where a sea of fans in red and yellow were waiting, before arriving at Sibla Square, where they took to the stage and partied into the night. The squad and coach Luis de la Fuente were introduced one by one to the fans, each with their own choice of music that is sung along to, wearing We Are Champions shirts. That's all for now. See you next time on What's Happening.